I'm Lynn Coleman, and I started here at HCC as a comptroller of the college. I was just responsible for the financial aspects of the college at that time, and our office was a lot smaller than it is now. I came from private industry, and so when coming from private industry, a lot of decisions are made at the top and you're told what to do. But one of the things I loved about the college, everything was so collaborative. And a lot of decisions that were made on committees. And so that was a different culture change for me coming from private industry, but I thought that everybody got along together as a family. We worked well together, people cared about each other, and we did a lot of things not just at work, but we would have parties off campus. We would have parties if there were just little things to celebrate, like somebody's birthday, and it was just a wonderful atmosphere, family atmosphere, because you felt close to everybody you worked with, and I still feel that way. I don't feel like that has changed. I still feel that we celebrate successes here at the college, but it's so much bigger now, and I feel bad sometimes, and I don't know everybody's name, because back then you did know everybody's name on campus and what they did and what office they were in, because we were so much smaller then. Dr. Burrell was the first president when I came here, and I guess I want to think of Dr. Burrell as an entrepreneur. He was really always looking for ways to grow the college from a business standpoint, and he even brought different things to the college. He tried to have a system called Print Now that we were going to sell to the public. That was a little bit different. We also had looked at building a system, it was called System 2000 at the time, but we were going to build a computer system that we could have all of our administrative software and financial software on. So those were some of the initiatives that he brought to the campus, but he was always looking at ways to improve and change the campus and to make it more friendly, but we didn't really grow building-wise. The buildings all stayed the same. We didn't have any new buildings, but he was always trying to make improvements here. And so my office moved several times as we moved people around, trying to accommodate the different services that we wanted to offer to students. And then Mary Ellen came as our next president. We had an interim president, Dr. Jolly. She was actually here for almost a year before we hired Mary Ellen, and but I really think, Mary Ellen was our next president, and she was more collaborative and engaging with people. And so one of the things I felt that happened under her administration, we became a lot closer to the county at the time. And Mary Ellen I would consider as a builder. We didn't have any new buildings on our campus when she came here. In fact, we had tried to get a new building, and they had delayed and delayed. And I always appreciated Mary Ellen because she was very persistent. You didn't say no to her. And so I remember she actually went down and camped outside of the office of the person at the Department of Budget and Management to make sure that we were going to get that new building on campus. It was always an interesting process because we're going to go down here and ask for this and we'll never get it. But he was so impressed with Mary Ellen for sitting outside his office that he finally gave her an appointment. She was able to convince him that we could get this building done a lot quicker than he thought we could, and we decided to go construction management at risk, and that was under her tenure. And with that, we were able to build the building on time and under budget, and that was something that he was so impressed with. We were able to get more money to build other buildings, but she was always persistent. She had a great vision for our campus. Under her was the first time that we had a campus master plan under Dr. Burrell, but it was sort of done with architects and a small group of people, where the master plan under Mary Ellen incorporated everybody on campus. We even brought some of the community members in to talk about what they'd like to see on our campus. And so she was more collaborative, more open. I would consider her a servant leader too, because she really just cared about the students and wanting to make this place a better place. And it wasn't about her, it was about the students. And so I think the culture of our campus changed over time when she was here, because everybody became even closer. Even though we were bigger, we were closer than I think that we were before, because we collaborated. She also was very interested in continuous quality improvement, and so she was the first one who started us on our Baldrige journey. One of the former board members wanted us to look at ISO 9000, and we looked at Baldrige and ISO 9000 and found Baldrige was far more rigorous than that. So she said, well, that's the route we're going to take, and that's where we're going to go. And so in order to even apply for a Baldrige Award, you had to win your state award, and we did that several times under Mary Ellen. So we worked on that and eventually got the state award, and as you know, the journey continued, and we eventually got our National Baldrige Award. But that was Mary Ellen's dream for us to start that process. Kate, as our next president, I feel Kate is wonderful. I guess I always say that Kate was the best boss I ever had. Kate listens, but she also pushes us too. She motivates us. And so I think with her as president, she is a true servant leader. She looked at our mission statement and talked about that, because we had a very long mission statement when she came here. When she became president, she was already here as a vice president, but when she became president, and we shortened it so people could remember it, so providing pathways to success. And that was really important, because she said people needed to know the mission, and it wasn't just, the mission wasn't just for our students, but it was for our employees too. We wanted our employees to find a pathway and to grow while they were here, and that's Kate's vision too. Our campus has transformed since I've been here. When I started here, we probably had a little bit more than 200,000 square feet, and that about 100,000 square feet is the size of Duncan Hall, so maybe 2 Duncan Halls if you look at that. And now we have over 900,000 square feet. So we have just grown, and I think our facilities are world class, and I'm just always very proud to bring people on campus. I remember when the SET building opened, there was someone who came here, and she was trying to decide whether she was going to take summer classes at Hopkins or she was going to take them here. And after she saw our SET building, she goes, "Oh, I love this place. I just can't believe." She said, "This is better than Hopkins labs were." So I just feel like we've always tried to be the best in whatever we could do, and we've worked together with the faculty to make sure they got what they wanted in their classrooms and what they needed to teach our students. I do think we have some challenges in that Howard County, it's a wonderful county. We are very fortunate that they support us in everything that we do. But their growth is limited in what they can do in the future. Right now, they don't have a lot of land like some other counties do, so they don't have a lot more land for development, and so you don't see as many single-family homes going up as you did before, and that, the growth in our county is just it's not going to be what we have seen in the past, and so that will be a challenge for all of us. I think our county is definitely going to grow and thrive. There's so many things in downtown Columbia and Gateway that can still expand, but it's just limited in what we can do. And so the projections for the future are really just showing 2.5% to 3% growth rates, which in the past we were getting 8 to 11% growth rates. So that makes a big difference sometimes, and what funding that we will get from them. The high school population isn't growing as rapidly as it has in the past. And so that's why our partnerships with the public schools like Jumpstart are going to be so important to us to continue to grow those programs. I would hope in the future, sustainability has been a big part of our campus. I had mentioned to you before, our green team, which Bob Marriott has done a wonderful job with, along with Shelley Biello, has tried to promote a lot of initiatives on campus, and I'm hoping that one day we would be carbon neutral. Other things that we can do to save the environment will be very important in the future, and looking at our students and how they transform. I also think that social media, the technology is changing so rapidly that we really can't control that, and that's going to be, it'll be 50 years from now. Maybe students will be sitting in their homes just taking classes, but I think they can do that now, but I think they like the collaborative effort to come on campus because everybody wants interaction directly with other people.